Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Buzz, buzz, babies. It's Wednesday night. It's Blake's Buzz Live. This is the 30th episode. Blake's Buzz turns 30. Unfortunately, I don't have any guests tonight. It's just going to be me talking to you about weird life shit. I'm kidding. I've got some awesome people to bring in. I've got Mr. Anthony D. Stokes. Everybody knows him on Twitter. He's trying to teach us about marketing. No one wants to fucking listen. What the hell's up with that, man? God, these we're coming in hot tonight, baby.
Oh, shit. Okay.
No, Anthony's got Decay 1 through 3 going right now, funded, ready to go. But I mean, hey, we'll take more backers, right?
We'll take more
like,
money.
Anyone who wants to pay for this and read an awesome comic, like, we're here to talk about it. Happy to have you back, man. Appreciate you coming back on the show. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing, man. Look, I got a lot of shit going on, but I'm on
Buzz. You
You
got hacked and you lost an account and
I lost my Facebook and my Instagram, dog. My
Dude,
Instagram
man,
had
that sucks.
1,000 followers.
Yeah, on Insta too is like I can't get followers on Insta. Like it's impossible.
In the middle of a campaign too, like
Dude.
the worst timing. But we here, we live, like
yeah, we're here, we're live, and we're marketing. We're trying. I don't know, man. I don't know. I read your posts. I still feel like I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. But no, I'm happy to have you back on. I'm stoked to talk about your comics, and I'm gonna bring it up again. But you dropped a little tip. You dropped a little morsel on social media the other day about you're about to make a manga, and I don't know if you can talk about it yet, but I'm gonna ask you about it here in a little while. I'm just excited. I got to read Decay 3. It's still good. It's been good for 3 issues now. I don't think anything's going to change, but we're here to talk about it. We're here to try and get you some backers. Happy to have you back on the show, bud. Good to see you. Next up, we've got Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon. Matt's in the middle of a hurricane right now, so if we lose him, blame nature. It's not my fault. It's God's fault if Matt vanishes. It's not technology. You first time on the show for both of you, but I've seen you around the internet. So I was there for the last campaign. I got the heirs of ISILDUR, the first one, and it was really it's crazy. Like, you know, lots of time traveling shenanigans. That's not an easy thing to do. We'll get into that later. But excited to have you both on the show. Your campaign ends tomorrow.
That's right.
So sorry we got you in like at the last minute.
No,
but
we're glad to be here on the last. We're glad to be here on the last day, man. We're glad to be here now, man.
I mean, we're gonna talk about that later too, because I think a lot of creatives watch my show. So I'm excited to kind of like that deal we were talking about, because I apologized to Matt. I was like, shit, man, I'm sorry. And he was like, no, this is good. Like, people need to do, like, you need to be available at all moments of the campaign, basically, is what he told me. So I think that's going to be a good thing for some new Kickstarter people, new creatives. I think that's going to be a good thing for them to hear, and we'll talk about that later. But both, how both of you doing? Like, other than the hurricane, Steph, you're on the other side, so like you guys are on opposite sides. But I almost said opposite sides of the planet. That's not true. That's
sometimes it feels like it.
Sometimes it feels like it, man.
How are you both doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. We're looking forward to hanging out with everybody.
Yeah,
exciting.
Just crossed the stretch goal right before we got on the broadcast, probably about 30 minutes ago. So that was good. And then we'll talk about it later. Our next stretch goal we got, which is actually a personal one to us. We're glad we'll talk about why we set the stretch goal where we did. But yeah, man, we're having fun. You know, we ran a shorter campaign this time, and we're glad, because the amount of stress that happens during the campaign can make you go crazy. So we wanted to lessen that stress a little bit, and we're still going crazy, but that's just how we are.
Oh, man. Oh, and look, Mr. David David is on in the house chatting it up tonight. What's up, David? I've been missing you too, man. Like you're doing your USA tour. You're all busy and shit. I miss you. he is on the opposite side of the place. He's usually he's typically in Australia. We also got the Geek Collective. Wow, I can't. Someone had some drinks before the show tonight. The Geek Collective is here in the house. I should say that name right because I'm part of their fucking network. If I no. Not anymore, maybe. I may just ruin that. But thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We appreciate you. And last but not least, Jessica Mason, what is up? How are you? What's going on with you?
I'm doing great. Just I suffered all day writing today, which sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. But the Kickstarter is going good, and I don't know. I'm doing pretty good. I'm here in LA.
Kickstarter is going. Your Kickstarter is doing solid. And it's. I mean, I do this all the time. Like my intros are so bad. I'm like, I'm like, let's jump into the interview part. Like, no, wait,
No.
Cool your jets, Blake. We got time. We got time to talk to everybody. But no, it's very, very, very cool campaign. Mary Shelley's School for Monsters Origins, which is also about to turn into a graphic novel sort of thing. We'll talk about that later. But
yeah.
I'm excited. Jessica's been on the show before, so Jessica and Anthony know the level of clusterfuck that you're all getting ready to tumble in. So that's
I drank already. I'm ready.
I'm assuming this is Joey. First strike, I got two more. All right, cool. I'll try and keep it in line. But yeah, Jessica, happy to have you back. I'm very, very excited about the new campaign. And you've also got like some other cool stuff going on that we can talk about later too, like with the Cthulhu stuff you're involved in being has got picked up with you and Russell, like, or you're in the. You're,
I mean, that's all Russell.
It's Russell, but you're in it though, right?
Yeah,
like you're
Yeah, I get to benefit from it, so that's nice.
Yeah, ride those coattails. We'll pretend it's you. It's fine. There's no.
Well, it's partially, it's a little tiny me.
No one's gonna come in and fake news me. Anything I say is
I accidentally just fake news you. I didn't mean it.
You're like, no, just kidding. It's all me. It was my
all
idea.
me, actually. It's nothing. Forget Russell. No.
Well, everybody, I'm super excited. It's funny. I'm sure, I'm very vocal on social media and I've been dealing with like some stress and bullshit lately. And I'm not gonna lie, like part of me thought about not doing Blake's Buzz Live anymore. And every time when I think about that and I get stressed out with everything going on, when I get on the mic, right? When we click the button, when the intro songs play, when I get to talk to you guys, I get excited, I get pumped, and then I'm like, you're an idiot, like you love doing this, like, but it's weird, anyways. But so anybody who's saw me being a little whiny piss baby online, we're not canceling Blake's Buzz. things are gonna change a little bit, all right? Like that, they're 2023 maybe a little bit different with how Blake's Buzz does, but I still want to have Kickstarter people on the show. I just I've been talking to some people, and I think we're gonna like maneuver into like some segments. I like doing these on Wednesdays, so I feel like it might be a good time. It's New Comic Book Day, like maybe do like a little segment about like what comic books some of us are buying or I'm buying or I'm reviewing. Anyways, regardless, like only half listen to me when I get all in my feels online. I love doing this. I love talking to these talented creatives. I love talking storytelling. I love talking comics. Life just is kind of a dick sometimes, and you got to deal with it and roll with the punches. And I'm still learning. I'm fucking 36. I'm 37 now. Fuck, I just turned 37. That made me sad. I'm another step closer to 40. But I'm still learning at 37 that you got to deal with these punches that life gives you. Now, real quick, now that we've all introduced each other and we all know like what's who we are and what we're about to talk about, there's a special cause I want to bring up tonight. I love animals. I'm more of a dog person, as most and I lost a buddy recently, and animals are just very important. They're important to the planet. They're important to us. We need to take care of them. We need to be nicer to them, and we need to work harder to make a place for them to live and be happy. And Mr. Manny, who does a really awesome comic, who does El Crudo he's got a special cause he wants to come on and talk about tonight. And he asked me if he could do this, and I was like, dude, fuck yeah, you can do this. And it's the Borneo Orangutan Survival organization. They basically like he's gonna talk to you more about this and make it sound way better than I am, but it's a very cool organization. I want everybody to take a gander at this web address and check it out. It's for real. They work hard to help these amazing animals live better lives, and it's a very cool organization. And Manny's gonna tell us more about it. So take the reins, baby. Tell us what's going on.
I will, and I'll try not to sound like a lame infomercial because we got some rad creatives in the house, like with some awesome projects, and I'm not trying to steal any thunder because everybody's just cranking out some awesome indie comics, and that's what I'm all about too. So yeah, super happy to be here, and good luck on everybody's projects. They all look super interesting. I've seen you all around social media. You guys are crushing it, and Blake's doing the good word, preaching the good word of indie comics. So I hate to steal any time away from Blake's buzz on that.
Dude, my show runs so long every Wednesday. You can take 5-10 minutes.
No, I don't need much. I mean, I'm just super appreciative of the opportunity, Blake. I mean, you bring such a positivity to the community, and this is something that's like really important to myself and to the El Crudo project, essentially. So I don't know if you all are aware, but like our comic book is featuring a crazy orangutan in Vietnam, and it's no coincidence that it features an orangutan because the orangutan's been my favorite animal since I was like 7 years old. Like I did like one of those animal projects in second grade where you have to do research on it, and I've been fascinated by the orangutan ever since. And so unfortunately, when I get into my adult years, I realized that it's pretty dire in terms of the species. There's 4 different orangutan species. And just in the last 20 years, the Borneo orangutan's been cut in half. The population's been cut in half. So that's something that's, I'm not a cause head, I'm not like out there like honking like every cause now and then, but this is something that I've been, paying close attention to, and something that I really care about for the last 20 years or so. And so thank you, Blake, so much for giving me the opportunity and the platform to mention it. So, we are trying to make like an annual thing of this, but last year we did a fundraiser for like our El Crudo community, because we have like a mailing list, we have our social media followers and stuff, and we raised $400, and we were able to put that towards a orangutan conservation foundation. So the one that we're running this year is with the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation. They focus on rescue, rehabilitation, and re-release into the wild. So essentially, the scenario is that in Borneo specifically, orangutans live in 2 primary locations, or only 2 locations, Borneo and Sumatra. In Borneo, the increase in demand of palm oil. Palm oil is in everything. You'll find it in chapstick, you'll find it in energy bars. It's literally in everything, and the demand is just increasing, and that's putting pressure on the rainforest environment. So they're doing slash and burn. And so Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation, they focus on rescuing orphaned orangutans, injured orangutans, rehabilitating them in their own facilities, and then re-releasing them into the wild. They actually also have been purchasing acreage of rainforest from the government. So there's currently 1.1 million acres that is under the care of the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation. So not only are they doing rehabilitation, but they're also doing rainforest conservation. So we're doing a fundraiser for that. We're targeting $200 for the fundraiser. If we raise $200, we can adopt 1 orphan orangutan per year. Last year we raised $400. I'd love to repeat last year's, but last year's I was way more active on social media, and I had a much bigger presence than this year. This year I've been sidetracked, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today, and we're going to be running this campaign all month. So you might see us on social media. If you do, come see what's up. I'd really appreciate it. I will say for anybody that donates through Blake's Buzz, anybody that sees us on Blake's Buzz, if you donate $5, we'll mail you like an El Crudo, like so El Crudo. If you're not familiar with El Crudo, is like our indie comic. We'll mail you like a swag bag with stickers and like a mini poster and stuff like that. So anybody that donates $5 to our fundraiser, will get a El Crudo swag bag, and then anybody that donates $20 will receive El Crudo 1 through 3, and then also a copy of 8 Fights, which is our new title. So I don't have much to offer other than indie comics, but we have some, and I'd happily share it with anybody that's willing to donate to this awesome foundation. Everything is 100% tax deductible as well. So yeah, so that's the spiel. And if you don't want to donate, to us for whatever reason, please check out the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation website. Follow them on social media, check out their stuff. They're always posting really interesting videos and news and different things that they're involved with. If not, you can always just like and retweet stuff, right? It's free.
It helps.
You never know, like somebody might have just won the lottery, and then next thing you know, they buy 100 acres of rainforest, right? Who knows, right? Miracles have happened before. And then of course, also, if any of that is not interesting, please read, check out labels. Just be aware of the degree to which palm oil is actually in our products. I think awareness is also an important first step. So yeah, that's my spiel. Sorry for sounding like an infomercial from the 90s, but orangutans are just a really special species. They're near and dear to my heart, and I'm doing everything I can, especially shilling on.
Hey man, they're near and dear to our DNA. We're all close together. Yeah. Like it's not but a hop, skip, and a jump from like where we are right now. They're a special mammal. They're very cool. They're neat creatures. And just like any creature on this planet, we all deserve to live, and we deserve to live comfortably. Like, I mean, when it boils down to it, we're all sharing this fucking weird shitstorm, right? And so anything I can do, man, like, let me know like what links I need to share and where we need to like let people go, like, because I think this is cool, man. For my birthday on Facebook, I did a deal for Kansas City Pet Project and tried to raise a little bit of money for them. And that's just like I said, because I love dogs, but like I love animals, and animals make life better. Even do you know like how many like videos I watch of like when I'm sad and I'm like about whatever, and I'm like scrolling through TikTok and shit, like looking at animal videos. That's monkey videos are amazing. And he's not an orangutan, so I'm totally like blasting your fucking spiel right now. But there's that like one-armed kind of monkey and like he like is just like hanging out, and there's like the meme of like, I was gonna do shit today, but instead I did this, and it's just kind of like sitting there, and people are giving it food. And I don't know, man. I love animals, and
yeah, I really do.
I believe in this. Like, ladies and gentlemen, when Manny came to me, I wasn't just like, let's do it. I like, he sent me the website, he sent me some information. And I looked at it, and it's very cool, and it's legit. Like, it's just a small thing. I mean, you're gonna hear me posting about crazy apes in Vietnam the rest of the year. So for this month, I'm just gonna be focusing on promoting this foundation and trying to raise some money for it. Because it's just an important thing to me, and if it's not important to you, that's fine. That's not a big deal. That's not what it's about. It's really just me taking the time to just kind of thank Blake for the platform to bring awareness to this thing that's important to me, and that's super special to me. The fact that Blake cares so much about indie comics, like he's been so supportive of our indie comic and the community, that he's also willing to look at some of our side interests and things that are actually really tangible, and things that we think about outside of just creating super crazy rad art. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity, and consider it.
the lowest thing that we can do is just, you know, like, retweet, and read food labels. Because palm oil is invading everything. So
it isn't everything.
What are the odds that you'd be on a show with somebody that actually knows about the, you know, Borneo and Sumatra and the orangutans? Is this foundation the same one that Jane Goodall works with out there, and
so there's a community,
TV shows and all that?
There's a community. So if you look on the Borneo Orangutan Survival 2020 annual report, you'll see that there's this whole network of primate survival and conservation organizations. So they all kind of work together. So last year I did a fundraiser for Borneo Orangutan International Foundation. So this year I'm working with Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation. So they all kind of operate on a similar network, and they all support each other in different ways. So to what degree, you know, Jane Goodall is involved with this particular organization, I'm not sure. But there is like there's this huge kind of like larger perspective. It's like primates for primates, right? Because we're all primates. So it's like that's kind of the umbrella of which these different organizations kind of communicate. So I can't answer specifically, but yeah, they're definitely all supporting each other in different ways.
Yeah, I know the show is, it's fascinating watching what these guys do out there. Or like when they get the baby orangutans in that have been orphaned, they'll put them into like, you know, it's almost like a baby orangutan daycare.
For sure.
They have to teach them. And then it's so cool because if you've not ever seen the TV show, probably go look it up on YouTube, because it's probably, the seasons are probably up there now. I forget what it's even called, but I think I've seen every single episode of it. But it's so amazing watching all these caretakers have to like get their orangutans and teach them how to go from level 1 to level 2, and teach them how to climb, teach them how to forage and all that. It's really neat, the levels that they go to try and get these baby orangutans who may have had their mother killed while they were trying to cut down these trees, and the baby was like clinging on to the mother's body. And so they have to take the baby away and do that. So it's really cool, man. That's cool that and so be on this show.
So Borneo Orangutan Survival, they have surrogate mothers, right? Well, they'll have like team members on Borneo Orangutan Survival that will be with that infant for their entire infancy, right? And they will do jungle school, where they'll they'll put they'll hold like things and fruit and stuff in the trees, and they'll make them climb up different obstacles to get the fruit, because the whole point is not to rehabilitate them to be healthy, but rehabilitate them into re-release into the natural environment. So they're doing rescue, rehabilitation, and re-release, and they're also literally purchasing acreage from
that's what's
the
cool.
Bornean.
I like that too.
They're also doing learning programs. They're also doing government. You know, what's that dirty word called? Lobbying, right? To try to get the message out. So yeah, it's one of the top rated organizations in the domain. So it's something that I definitely feel confident supporting. And yeah, that's just my spiel. I don't want to take up too much time. You guys got some awesome projects. I can't wait to hear it. I'm going to sit and chat, and I can't wait to hear about all the projects you guys got going on. So thank you so much for the time. I don't want to steal any more. I don't want to steal any more of your minutes there, Blake.
You're not stealing anything. We all care about the animals too anyway. I donate them. That's what I was doing.
I'm pretty sure I would never have anyone on my show who was like, fuck animals. Like I'd be like, look, I love your comic, but you suck.
Totally. I know.
It'd be really hard for me to do that.
I had to switch out a palm oil free Nutella for my daughter, and it was very expensive. But
it's not cheap. We need to find a solution for that. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to commandeer anything else, so I'm going to bow out. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I can't wait to check out your projects. I'm going to sit and chat, and I can't wait to hear what y'all have to say.
Very cool, man. And like I said, while you're doing this, like, feel free to bug me and anything I can do. Like, I mean, all I do, like, I work on the computer all day, like at work. So that's why I'm always fucking mouthing off about shit. So I would love to mouth off for a cause, right? So anything else I can do. And like I said, if you want to pop on like next week too and do the same shit, but yeah, like hang out, man. We can talk. You got I'm gonna hang out and chat. I'm gonna hang out and chat. No, I don't want to talk about our work. I just want to talk about the foundation today. So all right, well then shut up, Manny. We're done. No, I'm just kidding. It was good. it's good to have you back, man. We had a fun the last time he was on. It was just him. Like we a couple people couldn't make it, so it was just like me, Manny, and Honor, Vincent, and we had like this kind of like cool, real chill, like
that was fun.
Blake's Buzz episode. It was fun to talk, and then I let him slip. This is a funny story. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like I was gonna back your last campaign. I was broke and had to back out. And he was like, what? He was like, somebody named Blake has backed like all my campaigns, and I thought it was you. And I was like,
I thought you were dude, like my number one backer, bro.
I was like, I failed you, man. Like I'm sorry.
Dude, EK1, I thought EK 1 through 5 wouldn't exist without Blake because there's this guy named Blake that's like the number one backer, but it's not you. It was somebody else. Somebody else with a cool name. Anyways, but no, I did look at their web. It's a cool website. Hold on, let me pop it up one more time. Please check out this website. Like we're not that far away from these animals. Like they're amazing creatures. They're full of love and they need some help every now and then. And I think we can help them, and actually we can help them. Like you can donate $2, $5. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like like just help them out, man. They're cool creatures and they need it. Anyways, guys. I'm bowing out.
This was a. I feel like Blake's Buzz never helped anybody before, so
Blake can't kick anybody out off of the show, so I'm gonna kick myself out. Literally, guys. Talk to you soon.
See you, Manny.
Later.
All right. So anyways, so yes, I really hope everybody checks that out. And like I said, check out my socials later in the week. We're gonna talk more about that. Anyways, we are here to talk about some amazing comics from some amazing creators, some really cool people. We got some cool people in the chat too. What's up, Jay? What's up, Jay? Buzz, baby. Fucking John's here. Oh man, we got some indie crew. I love that. Like I don't have. It's just like indie creators in my audience. It's just like it's like the same people. It's either you're on my show or you're in the comments. I'm cool with it though, baby. Just whatever gives me those metrics. Anyways, all right. So I'm gonna go with the order of introductions. So we're gonna start with Anthony, Mr. Stokes. Real quick. I don't think you really need to do it because you're very good at doing it online. But like quick pitch. Tell us about Decay. Like, why should we back it?
I had somebody tell me I don't even talk about my comics online, Blake. But essentially, it is a modern retelling of Frankenstein. It's got somebody told me to say it's got Voodoo Revenge. What else do you need to know? That's what's mine. I'm terrible at
Voodoo Revenge.
Pitches.
I like that.
Elevator pitches are live. I'm terrible. Like
you got me. I'm like,
really?
Revenge, Frankenstein. Let's do it.
Yeah, Jessica's ready. Like she's. We'll talk about that campaign. But
that's right. No, I did see that. The Mary Shelley. Yeah, it's like adjacent. It's kind of.
It sounds cool.
Thank you.
It is cool. It is cool. It's modern. It's modern. It deals with some real shit. People in shitty neighborhoods getting involved in shit that they shouldn't get involved in, and then mixing that with voodoo and people coming back from the dead. So it's got a lot of realness, and it's got a really good sibling relationship, and it's got a good it's a good revenge story too, because like we've all got those friends, like we've got those ride or die people that we would go to war for, and in this comic we get a reason to go to war. We get, this is what I always make this joke. I always do this when I talk about your all's campaigns. I do like I'm part of it. Like I'm like,
you are part of
like
it.
I'm so I'm like, you're like, we're going to war, we're doing this, but there's a very great reason that there's hell to pay, and we're there for it. And the supernatural aspect of it, of like the voodoo, the magic, the coming back from the dead, the mechanics that you play with in that, about like you can't bring anyone back unless you want to be brought back. And why would you want to be brought back from the dead, right? Unless
Revenge.
like typically, yeah, it's that negative, like, you know, that malice, that, you know, that anger that can literally like bring you up out of the coffin. And there's a very cool story going on about that. And there's a fucking Molotov cocktail scene, and like more people should use Molotov cocktails. I'll just say that right now. Like maybe not in real life, maybe in literature. Okay, like
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, like, let's not throw real fire bombs, but like the metaphorical plot driven fire
Watch
bombs.
lists all across the country are now clicking up with Blake's
yeah, like
record amount of views.
How did Blake get canceled? Well, he told everybody to firebomb their enemies, and then they did, and then the government came back and they found Blake's Buzz episode 30. But no, it's a very cool comic, and I talked to you about this online the other day. But I think it's very cool that you have made you've made a lot of progress in. You utilize Twitter Spaces. Like I do a lot of live streaming in the podcast, but I pay for that. I pay for things to do that, and you have found a way to, like, Twitter Spaces is free. Like you get to, you have like you've invested in like a microphone and stuff, but like, you know, basically like you're using a free social media bonus to like not only tell your story, but you're also like simultaneously helping a lot of other Kickstarter people. So many people.
Am I Blake?
Well, this week, maybe not. I don't know. the previous weeks you have, but I mean, but you really do. Like, there are so many people, and people have come to me about it too, because I still don't really know. I don't know a lot about branding. Everything I know that I did, I kind of fell into on accident, and I think maybe some of that you did too, also, but. No. You know, you're good at talking to people about it, about the mechanics of it, and how to, I mean, even me, man, like I learned about fighting the algorithm from you, you know, like, and so like you've found out a lot of real interesting bits of how to promote your Kickstarter campaign, promote your comic book, and promote yourself. Right. And so many creatives, I think, don't get that. Or have trouble with that, or have trouble succeeding in that element. And I think it's very cool what you do, because you know, sometimes you may, we all rub people the wrong way, but you know, like, you know, sometimes you know,
on occasion,
sometimes people are like, well, you know, like, you know, anyways, but regardless where it comes from, is you're still like, look, this worked for me. And it's working for me. And my campaigns have made goal and gone over goal. And I've gone to these cons and I've made money at these cons. And like, I'm telling you what I did, right? You don't have to do it, but like, this is working. So like, maybe listen to me and take some of it, you know, into, you know, maybe try to and practice some of it and see if it works for you. And so I think that's so cool, but also, while you're helping the community, while you're doing these Twitter Spaces, you know, you're simultaneously getting the word out about Decay and your new comic endeavors. And so it's pretty fucking smart, man, like what you're doing. And you know, there's no, you know, altruism is not real, right? So like, no one's ever just doing shit to help people. But you are helping people and helping yourself in a smart way, while just like being a good voice in indie comics. And I think that's hard to do, man. I think it's cool what you're doing.
Let me address it, because you said a lot. So let me address a few things.
I said a lot of shit.
You're buttering me up really well. For those that don't know, who don't follow me on Twitter, I like to ask kind of open-ended questions to kind of get people thinking about like how to make comics and such. And this past week, it got a reaction that I was not expecting, and it was I was a punching bag for like a week on Twitter. But to Blake's point, to your point, it's, you should really try to be innovative when you're trying to accomplish something. And there's a lot of people trying to make indie comics, and you should, I mean, I'm being so careful my wording, but essentially like
You don't have to be that careful, man. It's Blake's buzz.
No,
It's
I do, bro. I do.
It's not Sunday school, baby.
No, but you should, like, standing out would be a good thing, right? To stand out. And I think so much of what disappoints me a lot of times in the indie comic space is we're kind of dumping on people for being innovative. For instance, when you tweet out, if you have tweet A doesn't have a link, tweet B has a link. Tweet B is going to get 10% of the reach that tweet A does. So when I'm promoting my Kickstarter, I kind of I have it in my pinned tweet because you can't really repress that. You can't repress a pinned tweet. It's not the profile. And then I allude to it. And then people, they have to do 2 extra clicks to get to whatever I'm promoting. And some people look down on that because traditional marketing says that you should make it as easy for your consumer as possible. They aren't a consumer yet until they bought something, in my opinion. So I make them work for it for a little bit and I get the results that I get. But there are people that, like I said, that don't like that. They don't like, I'll post about something and they'll go in the comments and post the tweet. And yeah, doing the spaces, somebody dumped on Twitter spaces. It's like I said, some people are really like trying to tone down the innovation and for it to be indie comics, something that's supposed to be creative and like free and innovative, that I think that's very disappointing.
Yeah. But it's working though.
It's right? It's objectively working. Like like it sounds like a jerk thing to say, but it is working. And Charlie Stinney and Pat Shand are my guys. I'm really just kind of communicating.
Heck yes, man.
These two are basically saying,
when those dudes like you, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want.
Man,
like if they have your back,
like you like me, like I'm doing fantastic. But these guys are kind of showing you what they're doing, right? And they're offering the information. I'm relaying that information in kind of like a louder, more obnoxious way, and you're mad at me. But it's like people act like to make it in comics you gotta like get all the Dragon Balls, like it's just magic, it's like all entirely luck. It's like, no, these guys are showing you the beauty of Kickstarter is we can all look at a campaign and see what's doing. We're gonna look at some campaigns today, we're gonna see why they're doing well. But people want to act like it's magic, like it's miraculous.
Got it. What's up, Sarah? Thanks for tuning in. The Dead coming back only if they want to. Yes, it's cool. It's a real solid, like there's a lot of really great things going on in Decay. Like I said, there's some elements that we're familiar with typical revenge narratives, and this is what again, I'm gonna grease you up again. I can't stop, I guess. But like I'm a grad school dropout. I was in an MFA program and I was doing like the creative writing thing, and I'm gonna literally pay for it fucking forever because I have crazy student loans and shit. But like I did learn a lot while I was there, and what I learned is cliches are not bad, right? Like cliches are there for good writers to manipulate and make them fresh again. And you have taken a traditional revenge narrative and added a really fresh, supernatural, voodoo, cultural twist on it that changes everything. And even the magical part, like if you guys read this comic, there's a necklace, and like the necklace has there's a lot of little cool moving parts going on in Decay. And it's also, and it's an affordable Kickstarter. If y'all want to, like, if you're fresh to the Decay, that's an oxymoron. But if you're new to the campaign, you digitally or physically, like Anthony's really good about helping you get all of his comics for an affordable price. I really appreciate that about him, especially, and I get it. I don't want to talk, like, I'm not trying to talk down on anybody, but like, Kickstarter's getting more expensive. And so when the creatives are taking extra steps and making some sacrifices to keep their campaigns affordable, I appreciate that as a consumer, like not me with my platform, not Blake's Buzz, just Blake Morgan, who's trying to read some cool indie comics. I really appreciate that. And Anthony's doing that with his campaigns. Like they're affordable, they're easy to back. It's easy to get the back issues. And it's already done. Like we've talked about this a little bit too. Like your issue 3 is ready. It's ready to go.
It's printed.
And
out.
you even have do you have any printed yet? Because you usually print early too, right? Yeah, so you did print some.
Yeah, I do, and this is a luxury, like, to be clear, but like to me, I don't want to rush my artist, so I have it finished and printed out before we do the crowdfunding. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Thank you. And
Sarah's awesome. Like I just want to let everybody know that Sarah's amazing. She's been on the show too. Has a really great comic. I hope she comes back for issue 2. I'm pretty sure she watches my show, so I'm sure she'll come back for issue 2. Anyway, sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
No, 100%. So I try to get it out of the way, so I have all my ducks in order, because like one big thing of crowdfunding is the aspect of like you don't know. I believe there was a campaign recently that kind of just folded and nobody got their money, and it's like, to be able to show people like, yo, it's printed out already, like it's less of a risk, so I think it makes it easier to invest essentially.
Now I want to ask you something, because you mentioned Charlie and you mentioned Pat, and those are 2 of my favorite people.
My boy.
They've been on the show a few times as well. Great fucking Kickstarter geniuses. Like Charlie's campaigns do well. I joke around with Pat now and call him the 6-figure man because his last campaign broke $100,000. Like that's huge.
Just don't call him the 6 foot man, because he is not 6 foot tall.
Yeah, he's not 6 foot. He's
5 foot man.
Oh shit, Pat catching some strays today. Nah, yeah, we were talking because we were meeting up for the first time.
They've started doing spaces now, but you're the one who started spaces. You made spaces of indie comics like what they are. Like you're relentless in those. Okay. I know you like anime. I know you like manga and stuff. You're making comics. You're doing all this shit. But you're always in a Twitter space. Like, do you ever get to read? Do you ever just get to enjoy yourself or have fun or make a fucking delicious plate of mac and fucking cheese? Like, how do you?
You already know I got the mac and cheese.
I know you do. I want that recipe too. But where do you how do you juggle your time? Because that's something I have trouble with.
So I'm single, no kids. So it's like one, that's like a big.
That's it.
Big
that's how we do these things.
Yeah, man. So that's the key. No, but essentially to me, when I'm hanging out with Pat in the space. I'm hanging out with Richard. Shout out to my guy Richard. Charlie was in the space today, and ended up roping Charlie into his space. I'm just hanging out with my friends. Sometimes I'm playing Mad. I was playing 2K today. I'm just talking to my friends, and that's like for me. It's just about making the marketing, there's that word again, making the marketing fun, because then you'll do it with more frequency and more you'll do it more effectively as well. So to me, it's not, I'm just hanging out, so it's not like I'm laboring. It's just like this. I'm not laboring to be here. I'm just hanging out, cool people about to see some cool comics. So that's more what it's like. I also have to give credit to Ian, because Ian was the first person to really do a Twitter space. He really
he was doing them on Tuesdays a lot till he had that baby till he
he fell off, took his spot. And then Philip Maria as well did Purple Eyes. He was also doing Twitter spaces before me. So I mean I'll take the credit, but in reality it was really it was really Ian. So I like I said, you can put that on me if you want, but I also want to shout out my big bro Ian and Philip, who, like I said, we're doing it.
But it's a unutilized. Well, it's beginning to be more utilized. Charlie's organized those huge spaces midday with 30, 40 fucking people. It's like, holy shit. So it's a thing that I really do, and again with the tumultuous space that Twitter is right now, right? And no one, but you know what? I was about to fucking buy a blue check today, but even Pat and Brian Edward Hill talked to me, and they and in comments, and they were like, for you, they were like, you kind of deserve a blue check because you're trying to promote other people's shit, and you're trying to get eyes on I hope to have a comic one day, and maybe will eventually, but I love getting eyes on indie comics. I love doing this, and the idea of like, yeah, if I could pay $8 a month, and a little bit of me's greedy, I get ad revenue and stuff for my podcast, and it's nothing, it's $3, but like it could be $4 or $5 if more people looked at it. But you know, like the idea of like, hey, if I had a blue check and 20 more people, 50 more people saw my content, that's kind of worth it to me. Building an audience is real fucking hard, and I'm sure all of you can like attest to that. It's not an easy thing, even when you have good content. Like, yeah, I'm good on a mic, I'm funny, right? And I know comics, but like even when you have a great comic, even when you have good product ready to go, ready to sell, it's still hard to get your shit out there. And then it's even harder now to like defeat the algorithm. We got to do all these different things to like, you can't post a link. You can't now they're saying like there's words like if you say go to or click here, like it'll bury you, right? Like there's all this different shit. And so it's just like the world is against us trying to tell people about cool comics. And it's a weird digital world we live in now. And so this Spaces deal is very interesting, and it's free and it's there, and you can just use it. You can use it when you're bored. You can start it. You can hop on there and say, I'm going to do a space. Let's talk about comics, and people will hop in, and you can generate a good discourse, a nice discussion, right? And something fun that like people want to hang out and listen to. And I think that's really cool. And I think whoever made it hot, like, all I know is like anytime I fucking get on Twitter, I feel like you're at the top. I'm like reading, I'm trying to do something, or I'm writing a review, and you have a fucking Spaces going, and it's just like I always see you there, like with other people, and so I just think it's cool. I think it's cool what you do. And
let me say this, Blake, and I do want to get to the Kickstarter, but I think us as creators, we have to build up y'all's platforms, because we need these. Like, we need a Blake's Buzz, we need to keep it weekly, we need all of these to Twitter Spaces, because there's a lot of fucking comic books, man. Like, and we need these platforms to thrive. So it shouldn't just be, oh, and I need to get better at this, I'm just gonna be on Blake's Buzz and that's it. You know, it's like you got to go on there, you got to support the projects that are on there, support your platform, because if you were to go away, what are you doing, like 4 Kickstarters like a week normally? That's 4 less appearances for somebody, and it's going to make the rest of it just overcrowded. So like I said, I think we need to support y'all as well.
Well, I mean, we're all a stupid cheesy comic book family. We're all here because we love storytelling, we love comics, and it's different, and it's fun. What is it? Sarah says she tries to work up the courage to join. Sarah, you need to get over your bullshit. We talked about this before. When Sarah first came on my show, she was like, she asked me, and she was like, I'm like nervous about asking people to like come on their show, and like she's got a really cool comic, and she's fun and funny to talk to. So it's the same deal, the same deal of like hopping on a podcast, hopping on a live stream. It's the same thing. Like all you got to do is ask. You've got a good voice and reputation in the community already. Like anybody would be happy to have you. And if they don't, you fucking send them to me. I'll send them straight. Anyways, like Stokes said, we need to talk about this Kickstarter, Decay issue 1 through 3. It's funded. It's funded, baby. So like, if you back this, you're getting this comic. Like, it's done. It's cool. It's ready to go. We got 5 days left. Almost at 150 backers. I'm sure you'll get there. Here's our new cover A. We kind of talked about. Oh, I love this variant, by the way. Oh my god,
you love it. Shout out to my boy DNS,
dude. You gotta, and they did your other comic,
Intrusive Thoughts.
Which really reminds me of. It's totally different, but the Deep Thoughts with Jack Haney on Saturday Night Live from back in the day. Except it's like when Saturday Night Live was funny, like in the 90s, there was like this stupid Deep Thoughts like deal, and it was like really poetic and silly and stupid, and it reminds me of that, but it's a nightmare, and it's totally the opposite of that, and it like takes you for this like wild ride through fucking night terrors, which are just shouldn't exist. Like, but anyways, so that's another comic he's working on, which I saw you mention that you're going to do a sequel, or you're about ready to write second issue. But
Yeah.
so Decay issue 3 is going down right now. These are some I love the back and forth between the narratives of issue 1 through 3.
Okay.
And kind of jump through time and
Yeah.
show us the missing scenes. I thought that was real well done. The way it's structured, I really dig that. So yeah, it's someone gets shot at a party, and luckily their sister knows a little bit of magic and can bring him back to life. If that happened to me, I'd be fucked because my sister's not good at anything. I'm just kidding. I love her. She's great at cooking, but she would not be able to bring me back to life. I would just be dead. And here we go. We got this. This is a big deal. It's a Molotov cocktail scene. Like this echoes into the future issues.
Also, that's a Molotov. That's formaldehyde from the embalming. Like it's basically embalming.
Oh, is it really? I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, man.
I'm a good reader. I'm great at reading and reviewing comics. But no, so there's a lot of violence and there's magic and there's trauma and there's revenge and emotion, and it's just like,
what else do you need?
Yeah, you don't need anything. You got it. Like you've like lured us in with our most like impulsive, chaotic like needs. And you've been really good about you're great about sharing this comic with outlets who can talk about it. I think it's really cool that you print and get it ready before it's done. When you can invest in your own work, I think that says a lot. Like that's just my opinion. And I know not everybody can. So again, not trying to down talk anybody, but Stokes is paying for this out of pocket because he believes in it, and then he's doing the campaigns to make it happen. And again, here, like, so the digital catch up is $9. That's a fucking steal. The physicals are also affordable. He doesn't bone you on fucking shipping. You can get drawn in the comic. There's all these solid variants. He did the Lane Lloyd thing.
Lane.
Lane is awesome. Like, and Lane is known for his Kickstarter variants too. So like when you can do that, when you can like hop in with that. And then Mark Oliver is the artist. SK is the letterer.
Steven, yes, my boy.
Who's apparently a Funko doll. That's interesting. We can talk about that later. But no, it's a great comic, and I really encourage everybody to back it. And I do encourage you to follow Stokes on Twitter. And okay, so maybe he'll say something that you won't entirely agree with, but I do guarantee you, if you listen to him talk, he'll say a couple things that will fucking help your campaign. And because I've seen him do it. And he also makes great mac and cheese. And in the end, that's all you can really ask for is great comics and great mac and cheese.
Look, you can buy a blue check on Twitter, or you can buy 3 comics.
Yeah. For $1 more. Yeah.
It's like $1 more. Yeah.
I was actually about to do a blue check. I was about to do it, but you have to have an iPhone. I only have an Android. You can't get it through the desktop. You can't get it through the Android app. You can only buy the blue check if you have the iOS app. Anyways, so that's a whole different deal. But this is a cool fucking campaign, and more people need to check it out. It's funded. It's ready to go. So like I said, if you back this, it's going to happen. You're going to get your comic. You have nothing to worry about. And it's a good comic, and it's going to treat you well, and you're going to want that 4th issue. You're going for 5 or
5 issues.
5. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm doing 4 and 5 at the same time. So that's going to be, I mean, obviously this is 1 through 3, but these are kind of like the 1 and 2 of the previous issues, but I'm releasing 4 and 5 on the same campaign. So that's going to be interesting.
Is there going to be 2 separate issues, or are you going to like end it with a double size, like thicker one shot?
2 separate issues.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 separate issues.
Well, I mean, I can't kiss your ass anymore. I tried. I mean, until you send me that plate of mac and cheese, that's the only thing else. Like once I get the taste of that, it looks so good. He like took a picture of it right out of the oven. Oh, I'm kind of buzzed right now. I got the munchies.
Nobody
Anyways,
talking about Blake. Nobody.
Someone does. Someone out there does. Anyways, but yeah. So you check out check out Decay. It's very cool. And like I said, if you follow him, there's a link going around online that I thought was like illegal, but apparently it's not. And you can read his new comic, which is terrifying and interesting, and the art's really good. It's very cerebral. It's very discomforting. And it's a good late night digital read. Like when you can turn out the lights and like light up your tablet and read it in the dark. Like that's how I read it. And so anyways, I'm all power to you, man. Like, keep pissing people off, keep making your comics. That's all I can say. Like, you're doing it right.
I don't know what else to do.
Boom. That's it. I don't either. All right. So next up, we've got Matt Knowles, Steph Cannon. There is a comic book called Heirs of ISILDUR, and it's crazy. It's like time traveling shenanigans to the max. It drops you in the middle of this crazy world they've made. And there's like some back matter and stuff you can get into. There's all these really cool QR codes. There's fucking music. There's lyrics. What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, it is insane what you guys are doing.
Let me tell you,
Kickstarter.
Right now, I think what we need to do is, I'm a pretty damn good hype man.
I know.
You to be the freaking hype
status is.
Blake's hype man status is next level, man. My goodness gracious.
That's what I do. That's all I know how to do. I read comics and get excited about them. But it really okay. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I sent John Westhoff a message because I'm bad about when you I read I was rereading the comic, right? And usually I read the digital. Like a lot of times with Kickstarter, I just leave shit in the bag and read the digital and like, put it in my box and in my Kickstarter box and store it. And so I busted out Heirs of ISILDUR today, and I was like, oh, there's like a lot of cool stickers and shit in here. And I totally missed the metal card, the Drumsticks of Doom crossover. Right. And so I take a picture of it and send it to John. I was like, what the fuck is this? I totally missed it. He was like, yeah, that's what you got for backing both of them. And I was like, well, I missed it. But so anyways, I love metal cards, metal bookmarks. There's no better bookmark than metal, right? I read omnibuses. Oh, yeah. I read these fucking like 1,500 page tomes, man. I need some fucking metal shit that I can slam those covers on, and I'm not gonna bend this fancy card that you guys send me. But no, you guys have this ridiculous comic. It's a nice one shot, right? It's like 50 pages, almost 50 pages. Issue 2's even bigger, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we make sure they're all perfect bound. The first series that we did, which I started writing before Steph and I met, ended up being 11 issues, and then we turned it into a trade paperback. And then everything we've done since then has either been a special edition or it's been perfect bound. So I've actually got, here are the 6 covers. We did 5 for the campaign and 1 store variant, but that is the 6 covers that we did for the first book. So everything has got the spine on the side, so it can hang out nicely beside your trade paperbacks and your graphic novels. First one was 48 pages. The one that we're working on now is 56 pages. Issue 3 is probably going to be a little bit longer than that. Why? Because we got a lot of ground to cover. Like you said, Blake, there's a lot of ground to cover in the story. The first arc, the Crossroads Conundrum, basically centered around Professor Michael ISILDUR, who is the watchmaker and clock repairman in the town of Shadows Haven. You talk about time travel. We like to say this is time travel in reverse. He's about making sure that time works exactly as it should. He accidentally opens up a time portal, starts bringing people from other eras and other places to him. And so then he has a conundrum. He's like, do I continue to help these people who are clearly in need of whatever it is that's allowing me to open these portals? Or do I stop doing this and save the timeline? Because he realizes as he's doing this, that little things are starting to break and starting to unravel in his own timeline. So that first arc, spoiler alert, ends with a catastrophic event. This arc, the Perilous Prospects, starts when that catastrophic event happens, and Michael ISILDUR has been incapacitated. So how we get to see in this arc, we get to see all the people that he brought through, the people from the town of Shadows Haven that he works in, some other people that were the originators of the machines that started the portals back in the day. We see how all these people are trying to survive, but none of them have all the pieces to the puzzle, so to speak, and the area around them is just continuing to unravel. So issue 1, like you said, was 48 pages. This is the 56-page issue. And And one of the things we say in the pitch there is, let me actually get to the pitch because we got so much stuff on the campaign now. So after the catastrophic events erupted across Shadowhaven, alliances have been formed and secrets are being uncovered, all in the name of saving their village and their heritage. But will some take the quest to find truth, or those that caused the catastrophe too far? Spoiler, we assure you they will. So we have got 21 hours left in the campaign right now. Campaign ends at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We just passed a stretch goal like an hour, a half hour to an hour before we got on here, which was at $7,500. And that opened up our blooper reel. We have a lot of fun with our campaign videos. And when we filmed, I think the campaign video is like 90 seconds long. And the guy we had that produced it made a blooper reel of everything from it that's like 4.5 minutes long. So, because we definitely, I can't keep her a straight face when we're doing these things. I'm always the utmost of calm and professional. And she's always wanting to goof around and make ridiculous sounds and all kinds of nonsense. But you know what? We try to have fun with it. But yeah, we're going to debut that video on our end of campaign live stream tomorrow. Our backers unlocked it. So we're going to make fun of ourselves by doing that. We think it's only fair. So you've got some of the covers up there. I'm going to let Steph, I'll talk about the story. I'm going to let Steph talk about the cool stuff that's in the campaign. So Steph, he is up on cover C, Keto's manga variant. Why don't you tell him why that cover even exists?
I don't know, but right before though, I just want to say Keto's fucking awesome. Isn't he amazing? When he pops in, he's like, okay, cool, but I'm not putting my sword away. And everybody's like, hey, dude, you can like maybe put your sword away. And then by the end of the book, they're like, all right, we're gonna do this, but Keto's gonna keep his sword out. And I was like, yes, like I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, sorry, Steph, take it out.
No. He's got a little soft spot in my heart too, I think, at this point. But I love this cover because this is from a sister duo that hails from my hometown that I have gotten to know, and Matt and I are kind of mentoring them a little bit. Chess and Gwen, they have a manga series that they are working on right now called The Bohemian Trials. That is amazing. We were blown away by how motivated and talented these girls are, and the art is just amazing. And so as we were kind of in the process of mentoring them, we said, you know what, we would love to give them the opportunity to do a cover for us. And what better character to have them do a cover than Keto, because they're working on a manga series. So and they came up with the concept for this. They came up with the whole concept of the characters in the blade, and we were like, do it, this is awesome. And it turned out amazing. So
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's one of the covers that we have offered. There's two of the ones that you saw before that. The cover A, our character Merc. She's the badass female with purple and blue hair, and she's on a two-headed horse. Why is she on a two-headed horse? You'd have to pick up the issue to find out.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
There's so many jokes about her hair, and I remember some discourse about women with multicolored hair. And how like it just like it wasn't okay, and it's just like too much, and is this like, was that kind of like a running joke? Did you guys kind of like take that and run with it, or is it a coincidence? Because I very much remember the rainbow, because I think it's beautiful and looks awesome and looks punk rock as fuck. And so many people are like, "Oh, you did that to yourself." And there's that, you know, she has to like hide her hair. She's like, "Oh, we're going into town." Like, well, they can't see I have like purple and pink hair. And it's like, I was like, man, this feels like very real. Like, this happened.
So we'll go back into the previous arc. So what happens is, with this town is very puritanical. There's reasons why they want nothing to operate outside of the known course. And Michael, when he opens this portal, the first person he pulls through is named Shiver. He's from like medieval times. His village has been burned. He wakes up one night and everybody is dead. Everybody is gone. Every building has been burnt down to ash. And Shiver's like, well, I just got to walk. I don't have any food. I don't have anything. And he gets pulled through. And when he gets pulled through, Michael's like, hey, I can help this guy. I'm in this technological place. And I can surely show this person a better way of life, because he was almost frozen and almost dead when he came through. So when Merc comes through the portal, the whole story gets turned on its side, because she's from the future. She's from like basically our time. Okay. And so in our time, you know, she's like, hey, I had blue and purple hair, blah, blah, blah. She comes through the portal, and Michael is blown away by the fact that she has this little device in her hand that has got a digital clock on it. And he's like, what is this insane technology that you have? And he's like, she's like, my cell phone? What's the big deal about my cell phone? So then he realizes, holy crap, I've got people from the past, I've got people from the future that are coming in. And without spoiling anything, and it's in the previous arc, and it's also on part of one of the albums. We kind of explain it there. There was an incident that happened many decades ago in the town of Shadows Haven, where people tried to start doing things that were outside of the known realm of things, and it started to compromise the town. And the town said, you know what, we're not going to have this. And they basically slaughtered all these people, killed them off, stopped anybody from doing that, and put literally the fear of God into anybody from doing anything that was going to be outside of the natural path. And when Merc comes through, Michael's like, listen, there is no way that you're going to be able to walk into my town of Shadows Haven with blue and purple hair and not have people look at you immediately and go, something is wrong. We can't allow this to happen. So in issue 1, like you're saying, when the portals happen and they see that things are going on and crazy things are happening in town, they see buildings starting to transfigure and things like that. That's when Merc is like, okay, I'm going to take a chance now and show my blue and purple hair to these townspeople and blame it on all this apocalyptic stuff that's happening and see if they buy it. Because she's sick and tired of hiding who she is. And now she's like, hey, look, these portals have done, I'm a victim too. I'm from here and I'm a victim. Yeah. So she has to kind of play this story. So that's why where you're at in Perilous Prospects, why it's such a big deal, because they don't want to have there be any knowledge that these people have come from a time that is not this era. Because nobody knows what might happen to them if it's found out that there's somebody from the past that's come through a portal to their time, somebody that's come from the future, and some of these other people, because they don't know. They might have been the ones that have caused this apocalypse. They have no idea, but they don't want to take the chance and they don't want to find out.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's I want to find out though. Like and that's why I'm excited to like read more about this. And I really commend you guys for like building this really extensive universe and making these new issues to where they're new reader friendly. There's so much going on. It's so hard to be new reader friendly, but you guys do it well. There's a few moments every now and then where as a reader, you're like, I would like a little more information, but then you give it to us. You're like, well, scan this QR code. It'll take you to our blog. Or there's like at the end of this comic, there's like this extensive character explanations. Like you guys do this so well, and it's very cool. And it works too, because now after like issue 1, like I'm like, I kind of want these fucking trades. I kind of want to buy these 2 trade paperbacks to go with this fucking second issue. Like, cause I kind of want to like dive more into it. And so but structuring is very important. Like I'm a big nerd on narrative structure and tension, because I think these are necessary elements to any great storytelling. Whether it's a fucking novel, whether it's a novella, whether it's a short story, whether it's a comic book or a graphic novel, it has to be there. We have to be anxious enough to be propelled to turn the page, right? And we have to be intrigued enough to like care about the characters and want to know about them. And you guys have done that and with this like established world, and then made like a very comfy, warm, simmering, comfortable place for us to like sit and get comfy and learn about that too, without having to invest extra money. And then, like I said, like I'm sure a lot of your backers are like, how is issue 2? Like, are your trade sales like popped up a little bit for the second issue?
We always sell a lot of trades. Like, we go to shows and people are always wanting to buy the original trades. It's crazy. But to the point that you're making there, kind of like what Stokes was saying, we're in a world of technology now, so why not use that technology to our advantage? We know there's a lot of backstory, and we have a lot of fans. I mean, there's some stuff that's going to happen in issue 2 that are deep cuts. So we know some of our like super fans are going to be like, holy crap, I can't believe they just did that. Holy crap, they just threw this whole story on the side. But to somebody that's a new reader, we don't want them to go, So you're telling me I have to go read this entire trade paperback to understand these things? No, you don't have to do that stuff. We make sure that if you want that backstory, there's, like you said, a QR code or a link. You can go to it. We've got stuff on our blog. We made sure we've got 2 metal albums. I'm the main musician. I've guest musicians on both albums, but I'm the main musician. Steph and I produced them. Where the first 3 songs on our most recent album, we have it on MP3 CDs and collectible colored vinyl. We made sure the first 3 songs in the albums are called The Perilous Prospects of Shadow's Haven, The Perilous Prospects of the Portals, and The Perilous Prospects of Michael ISILDUR. If you look at the lyrics to those 3 songs, they basically give you a summary of the town of Shadow's Haven and the history that happened there, the history of the Portals and the group that kind of brought them to be, and then the history of Michael ISILDUR and how he kind of unwittingly fit into all this, just so that way you can have a base to start from. We don't want somebody to feel like, oh, this is cool, but I'm going to go pick this book up and have no idea where I'm at. We never want that. We always want a new reader to feel like they have an opportunity to be able to jump in right there, but also not make it where our existing fans feel like that's been dumbed down and they're not going to enjoy it as well. So it's a very delicate balance to be able to do that, but we feel like we're doing that pretty well right now.
No, I mean, so I have not read the trades. So like the first issue was like my first experience with it, and there were a couple jostling moments, but you correct it. Like, or I mean, not that it was a mistake that you corrected, but like you get me on the path to know what's happening, and it happens organically. Like it does. It's not like, you know, for a moment I'm like, man, did I miss something? And then I'm like, nope, I'm here. Like, then it's like you're on the path again. So I do, like, both of you are telling the right kind of story to where, like if we want to go more into it, we can scan the codes, we can go check out the blog, we can check out the music. If you got the money, you can get the previous trade paperbacks. I think that's really, really cool, really, really smart. And you know, like, and we can look at the way your campaign's funded. Like you're over goal, you're meeting stretch goals. Like, I'm obviously not the only one who thinks that. So like, you guys are obviously on to something and it's working. And we're trying. It's very cool. It's fucking like punk rock, steam rock. You know, I said punk rock, stream rock. Like, we can do that. We can do that. It's really intense, and it's magical, and it's weird, and it's fantastical, and nothing, you know, with the time shenanigans, like nothing makes sense in a good way, and we're on that path to like figure out the story, and in those moments we're like interacting with new characters, everything's changing, the sky's crumbling, you know, like I'm here for the story. Like I'm in it. Like you've lost me, like, purposefully. Like, I feel like I'm part of this town where the sky's crumbling apart, and I'm like, and I'm running after people with a grandfather clock. Like, it's got 5 hands. Like, how do I fix this shit, man?
I love it.
And and that's how I feel. And it's cool. It's really cool.
One of the things that our mantra is, and if you even look at the back banner that we have at our shows now, it literally says at the top, creating characters you can relate to and universes you want to escape into. We want to put you in a situation that's like, hey, this could be a normal situation. Let's say the 5 of us were hanging out and we're at the local Denny's, and all of a sudden a freaking portal opens up in the parking lot. We try to take it from the perspective of how would we all react to that? We all, probably the 5 of us, would all react differently, and we all would see how it's going to reflect on our lives differently.
Yeah,
and so that's
because I'd be like, fuck you guys, I'm finishing my pancakes. Can you give me 5 minutes? Give me 5 minutes to finish my pancakes before we step into this other world. That'd be great.
That's exactly how we feel. And you know, one of the things you just had up there, one of our big mantras is we want to make sure, our goal is, when you're done reading the book, we don't want the universe to disappear onto the shelf when you're done reading the book. So as you just had some of the leather work, I was going to let Steph talk about the leather work. So Steph, to talk about the leather work that's right there, because we have so much fun with stuff like this.
So we have leather workers that have done support merch for us for quite a few campaigns now, and they also do it for us personally. GB Leatherworks, Harrison Hansen, Martin Irish are amazing craftsmen at what they do. These guys are like blacksmiths, hand making leather goods. They have anything and everything that you can imagine. We were just talking to them, and they were at Ren Fair last week, and we're like, that's your guys' wheelhouse. You're going to do great there, because that's literally the type of stuff that they do. But they have made for this campaign, we have a couple of new things that they are offering. Goggles, which are the goggles that I wear at all the shows, because Matt and I are always in some kind of matching craziness. But he always has the top hat. I always have the goggles, and these goggles that these guys make are amazing and comfortable, and I can wear them all day long and not be feeling like I want to rip them off my head. So we've got brown. I think that's brown. It's hard to tell. We've got brown. We've got black. And they have the little symbol. That's our 13 o'clock symbol. That's a symbol that you see throughout the campaign and in the story as well. So those are going to be on the goggles. So you can choose from brown, black, or eccentric craftsman, which is basically their choice. They can do whatever colors they want. And I didn't know this, but you can do leather in any color. I mean, I didn't know that they could literally take a piece of leather and dye it purple or blue or something like that.
Yeah, but they're just like, hey, you know what? Whatever. Oh, I got some scraps left over from this other thing that I made over here. I'm going to turn it into a pair of goggles. We've seen them do some crazy stuff.
So the option that we have are ornaments. It comes in a set of 3. It is the little 13 o'clock symbol that we have. There is a little mini dragon head that we sell them as keychains, but now they're ornaments as well. And then little tiny goggles, which are adorable and awesome, and I love them so much.
Goggles.
So those come in a set of 3.
The last campaign you guys had, and this might be someone else, but like, was it the last campaign you guys had like dice bags?
Yes.
Well, yeah. So we do have the dice bags again in this campaign.
Okay.
So because people liked them so much that we're like, why not put them in there? And the thing that we do, we try to get meta with these things. So like the dice bags, they're called Michael's Traveler's Pouch because he has a Traveler's Pouch. You're actually in book 2, we guarantee you're going to see that Traveler's Pouch in somebody's hands. We've done things like full-size dragon masks, like $300 dragon masks. They're like, hey, we want to make this thing for you. We're like, who's going to buy a $300 leather dragon mask? And we had like 7-8 people that got those things. And the thing is like there was a character that was in there. We went like double meta, and like there was a shot later on of a medieval market, and we actually drew our leather workers in the medieval market selling the dragon head masks in the story, just kind of like threw it in there just to see if they would see it. So we're like, we try to make sure that these things are pulled out of the story and they can exist in your world in real time. The metal music, the leather work, all kinds of fun stuff. We do socks, we do all kinds of crazy crap.
And then you guys were part of like Charlie Stickney's mad crazy plan of this like 4-way crossway free metal print if everybody gets the physical backs the physical level of each of these campaigns, which was really cool. I've never seen that before. Yeah, if you were a backer of Lori Foster's Medusa campaign, Ryan Cummings' Reina campaign, Charlie Stickney's The Game, and then our campaign, it had to be all at a physical level. We wanted to do something really cool, and so everybody got that. That's an exclusive print of all 4 characters from all 4 as a full-size metal cover that you can only get there. So there's going to be 20 of them, 30 of them out there in the world that have this on there. So if you're a collector, that's an exclusive thing right there to be able to get. So we were really happy to be involved in that. And kind of like Stokes was saying, we all were helping to promote each other's campaigns and lift each other up. The rising tide raises all ships, as the phrase goes. And it really helped us to have that base because comics can be a lonely thing. I mean, Steph and I have each other working together on this, but even as a pair on opposite coasts of the country, it can still suck at times. So we can only imagine when you're one person out there doing it, how tough it is, especially when the campaign. Campaigns are lonely things. So, it helped us to be able to have that base for the majority of our campaign to be out there helping to promote each other and do all kinds of stuff. Sarah, really appreciate that comment. The other stuff is so odd. We can tell you, it is quality too. It is quality. We were not going to put out something that we feel like is not going to be something that people are going to be happy to have. We're not going to put trash in our campaign because we want people to get that box and we want them to go, my time has been well spent. My money has been well spent because, you're never going to get that time back. And if they feel like they wasted their money on our campaign, we don't want to do people that disservice. Yeah. No. Like customer service is a big part of Kickstarter that I think some people that don't do well at Kickstarter don't realize. Very very similar to like Stokes in his marketing talks. Like marketing and customer service go a long way in Kickstarter and are not just go a long way, are fucking necessary. Sarah is all about this leather stuff. I love how excited she is. She's a dice goblin. She needs the dice pouch. Like Sarah, there's a lot of ways you can spend your money on this awesome campaign, guys. I'm stoked. Like I said, like I backed the previous campaign, Matt asked me a couple times. He was like, when we were setting this up, he's like, "What do you need?" And I was like, "Well, I got the first issue." I was like, and he was like, "All right, cool. Like, yeah, no, they great." And I was like, "Yeah." Like, I'm excited. Like, I've read it. I wasn't able to like get the goblin mask and the goggles and shit, but the comic is great. Like, I can attest to the comic, and it's awesome. And I'm really glad you both came on the show. I was very excited to talk to you. It's very cool. I like what you guys are doing. I like the craziness y'all are bringing to the table. Like, it's nutty, it's fun, it's vibrant, it's intense. It's not like other shit on Kickstarter. It really isn't. and it's not, it's not like Kickstarter has like a lot of the same shit, right? It's not. I love the big two, but I will come out and say this. It's not like there's fucking 25 X-Men titles, spawning out of the Krakoa reemergence on Kickstarter. Like, there's a lot of different shit, a lot of fun shit. There's there's different strokes for different folks, and everybody can find something they're comfortable with. But this ISILDUR comic, there's so much going on that I'm like I said, I'm so glad I backed it. I was late to backing it on the first campaign, and I'm probably going to be late to backing it on this one because I'm not backing campaigns at the beginning as much anymore because I'm poor, and it's that hustle of like on the 15th, and when you're like, oh shit, I got $250 to like pay for all this. So I'm like trying to like, I wait a little longer to like back, which sucks because I also feel like when people back your campaign when it launches, I feel like that helps the algorithm. Anyways, I'm always failing everybody. That's basically what I'm here to do. But you
got time on our campaign, man. You got a whole 21 hours to go. So you got 21 hours to go.
I will. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you got another physical backer out of me. I gotta balance my bank account, but I think we're good. But anyways,
let me drop a couple things really quick though before we move on, because I definitely want to get to Jessica's. I mean, I know that's not it's your show, but I definitely feel for Jessica because I know she's like, hey man, I want to talk about my stuff.
No, I always hate for the last person. Like, someone's always got to be the last person, and I'm always like, fuck, they hate me. But
our next stretch goal is at 82.82, and the reason why is at 82.82 is because our first campaign for this title did 82.81, and so we set our stretch goal. If we can get to $1 above that, that's gonna mean something to us, because you always want to do better than the last time you're out. So that's why our stretch goal set there. Our backers have already unlocked we talked earlier about the Bohemian Trials. The debut Ashcan PDF for the Bohemian Trials, we get a release to people. So they're working on their full manga issues, but we get to release the PDF of that. And so we are very privileged and honored to be able to do that. So that actually means something to us. Another backer count goal, because we do backer goals and we do dollar amount goals, because we want to show the backers, getting the backers in is just as important as getting the dollars in. It just unlocked a Holiday Spirits summer special PDF, which is from Orange Cone Productions. Why is that something that means something to us?
I love Orange Cone.
Holiday Spirits Volume 2 is on Kickstarter right now, and we have a story in there called Raising Spirits, Razing. And so once our campaign is done, once that week buffer is done to make sure everybody gets their cards right, we're going to immediately send out the Holiday Spirits summer special PDF, so that people get that while their campaign is still running. So if they dig it, they can go back to that book while it's still running. We want to make sure that we're showing support for the people that have supported us. Our backers have also unlocked 5 trading cards. We have a set of 18 that we revealed. The first 5, if you back physically, you're going to get 5 of those trading cards. And we unlocked the ability to go add the rest of them onto your campaign. And we're going to do it old school style. We're going to get the 9 count sheets that you put in a folder, and you're actually going to get 2 sheets of 18 cards total.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so you'd get 18 cards. If you go up there, you have to add on the other 13. But you've got all the main characters. There's some characters that are basically you've seen them in issue 1, but they weren't really named in issue 1, but now you're going to find out who they are. And there's 2 secret characters that to people that are longtime fans, when they see them, they're going to completely stand on their head. They might actually defecate in their pants at that point. There could be some problems. They might need to wear Depends. Because when they see them pop up, they're going to be like, I can't believe they brought that person back or that person in, but you're actually going to get a trading card for them as well. Because we like to have things like that, like you said, add value. When you're doing 48-page books, 56-page books, or 56-page books that are perfect bound, those things are not cheap. That's why our tiers are not cheap, but we still don't try and rip somebody off. But we always want to make sure that we're giving back to you. That's why we set our goal low. There's the two trains of thought. You set your goal for what you think you can get at the end, or you set your goal for what you think you get in the first 2 days. We always go with what we think we can get in the first 2 days. That way we can start adding on fun stuff. You can unlock the blooper reel. You can unlock trading cards. You can unlock, different PDFs and things like that. Because we want to make sure that we also we do post-campaign incentive drawings. So anybody that backs right now, there's people that have, if you were in the first 50, you got into a pot or into a top hat as it is. But if you're back in the last 48 hours or you're an existing backer and you increase your pledge by even $1, then your name gets put in to the drawings that Steph and I will do after the campaign. And one of the things we're actually going to give away, we're not saying which tier it's going to be in, which hat it's going to be in. We're actually going to give away one of our collectible colored vinyls. But it could be stickers from a previous campaign. It could be foil covers, could be anything. So it's extra swag that can get added to your bag. Because like I said, we want to be able to give back to people, and they may not have the ability to go back and be like, oh, I want that issue 7 variant cover from the Crossroads Conundrum that you guys never even put on the shelf anymore. We want to give people the opportunity to get some fun little things like that added in.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited. I am also excited for Holiday Spirits Volume 2. Holiday Spirits Volume 1 was my first official pull quote, where I saw my words were on the back of the cover, like printed in real life. So Volume 2 is I'm really excited for that. And it's very it's important to me. I want that to get funded. I want people to see it. So I'm glad you guys are throwing that into the mix of your campaign. Right, Jessica, right before we get to you, I just want to throw it out. I've officially made it because I have a fucking porn bot on the live stream. Blake's Buzz is real deal. Awesome. I'm gonna save that link for later because I'm a sad single man. But anyways, Jessica, thank you for being patient. Again, I know that's the one bad part about my show is someone always has to go last. But also good things come to those who wait. And Mary Shelley's School for Monsters Origins is a fucking gorgeous, exciting comic. Mary Shelley is so fucking awesome. Let's pioneer fucking feminism and also pioneer the fucking horror genre, pioneer fucking gothic literature. She's such a influential, powerful, amazing woman. And there's been a few people who have taken her legacy and built wonderful comics from that. And I'm excited to see it happen again. But this is new. This is Baby Mary. This is Baby Shells. This is a little Shell Dog millionaire. She's young and she's new and she's got an attitude and there's a lot of stuff going on here. You could probably tell better than I can. Tell us about this amazing comic you got going on right now.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just get into it. This is my first Kickstarter campaign, so I don't have thousands of other comics to bring into it. So this has been an interesting experience. But Mary Shelley, the actual story of the comic is that she's not actually Mary Shelley when she's 12, but everyone knows her as Mary Shelley, so that's easier to say. The young Mary Shelley is, she's at the graveyard. She sees a strange guy out in the graveyard. It starts raining. She goes into a mausoleum. There's a bunch of occult stuff. She runs into a living, adorable Necronomicon. That's a living, breathing, cuddly little thing. And there's an occult mad scientist in there with his Frankenstein-esque experiment. When she tries to rescue the Book of the Dead, she is bound to it, and then it splits her in half. And so one version goes on to be the Mary Shelley that we all know, who writes Frankenstein, and the other version becomes a supernatural teenage version of her that goes on in through immortality to rescue other monsters who are equally misunderstood. And that's kind of the premise of it. And so the main character is actually not Mary Shelley. It's a monster part of Mary Shelley. And she and so the Origins comic acts as the prologue for the larger graphic novel that Anna Weisscheck and I did together. And it's a very beautiful book. And that one's going to be called La Llorona and the Machine. So Origins, I wanted to do a single issue on Kickstarter, to do like its own cover, have some fun stuff, you know, some fun, cool swag to go around to get people excited about it. Check out Kickstarter for like a middle grade YA, you know, title. And yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about it, but
dude, this is your time. Go.
Yeah. You know, interestingly enough,
run with the adorable. First of all, just the adorable Necronomicon, like that. Those two words do so much for anybody who knows anything about horror. Right, the adorable Necronomicon, like, oh, this oxymoronic phrase now that will like linger in the back of my skull forever. But it's adorable and it's cute and it's like, but it's so much more. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
I mean, that's Necro, and Shell calls I made the Necronomicon her Nami-Nomicon sometimes, and her and the book together are one of the most powerful occult items. They can cast very powerful spells. They can pretty much undo any hex. They're very formidable opponent for evil humans that kind of come upon occult things and try to foil them. And so, you know, I wanted to do a story that, you know, you could kind of retell certain mythological characters, like Medusa she doesn't make an appearance in Origins, but in La Llorona, she's one of the team members in at the School for Monsters. This print that you're looking at is a cross promo I'm doing with Fangs and Foul Play. And I don't know if anyone...
Awesome. Yes.
So with that particular print, the idea is from, I don't know if you were talking about watching animal videos. I also like to watch animal videos when I'm depressed with my daughter. And there's one that's always on the internet that's like, it's called Dog Diaries. It's like, Dear Diary, the squirrel is back again.
The squirrel's mocking me.
It's mocking me. And so we decided to do a Dear Diary for, because Necro kind of acts like a lapdog and Fang is a sarcastic vampiric doll. So we did a Dear Diary, the squirrel is back again, but it's like in the crystal ball. And
amazing.
Yeah. So that's going to be a glossy print that, it's not a metal print. Someday I'll have a metal print, but it's a glossy print that anyone who backs at the physical level for my campaign or and Fangs and Foul Play will get that print as well. So, and then and I've been working with the cool kind of origin stories of this this whole comic and story is that you know, I started doing anthologies, a lot of horror anthologies, and I was in Nightmare Theater. I did a short with Mark McTell in that, and that was with Clay Adams and David Schrader, and I saw her piece in that, and I was like, God, I something about the way she did light. It was just the way she did light, and I was just thinking of this idea, and I just emailed her and asked her if she wanted to do another short with me, and we did a short for Cthulhu is Hard to Spell, Battle Royale, which we did. Both those characters, Shell and Frank, who she rescues, which is like Dr. M is the occult scientist, and he's inspired by Dr. Moreau from the island of Dr. Moreau, but he also inspires Frankenstein. It's kind of like in my alternate world. And so I pitched her an idea, and we did a short together for Cthulhu is Hard to Spell, and we did kind of they had to go rescue Necro and Shoggoth and Cthulhu from this evil cult that was doing a monster fighting ring, and it was just called Forever Home, and it was really cute. And so we did that together. We had a blast, and so then we did the larger graphic novel, and we're all done with it. I mean, it's getting lettered right now, and so we're done with the Origins, and we're also done with the graphic novel. And
wow.
And I wasn't even I was so on the fence of whether to do a Kickstarter or not. I will say I've watched a lot of these guys you guys have talked about do Kickstarters, like Charlie and Pat. And I've also watched Russell do a lot of Kickstarters and learned a lot from him. And I was like, oh, I really want to try a Kickstarter, but I wasn't sure. And a lot of cool people from the indie comic community in that last month, like, you know, just said encouraging things. And I was like, you know, I was putting it together, and I kept deciding not to do it, then to do it, and then finally just did it. And so it's been fun so far.
I mean, you say it's fun, but it's also
not fun. It's
stressful,
a little fun. It is fun.
but when you've got the product there,
Yeah.
and like we talked about before, like when it's a marketable product, when it's real and you've got faith in it, and when other people in the community have faith in it, and also when you've got it fucking done, like it's a thing that like is real and you can make it happen too. Like that's a big deal too. And Sarah's popping in again. Sarah knows all you motherfuckers better than I do, apparently.
Dude,
like,
Sarah's
she should be hosting this fucking show. God damn, like I should send her the link and have her hop on.
Give you right back.
But yeah, like Plastic Girl is your novel series. That's where you kind of like started in your narrative ventures, right?
Well, I mean, I started with screenwriting, but yeah, then when I started coming into comics, I think I started with Pistol before Plastic Girl, and then, but yeah, Plastic
Girl's is prose, right?
Yeah, Plastic Girl is prose, and it's interesting.
And Pistol's a comic.
Pistol's a comic, and Pistol's got its own evolution. I paused publishing those because we're finishing up 4 of them, and I'm going to re-release it and redo it. So that is there's more Pistols coming, but I had to take a break, and it's much darker than Mary Shelley. It's about sex trafficking and supernatural vigilantes, so it's a little bit totally different.
So it's not YA? Is it more adult?
No, it's not YA. It's not middle grade either. Yeah, not all ages, at least not from where I'm from, but but Plastic Girl, interestingly enough, when you had Matthew, it was way back in the beginning of this like this live stream, there was a guy talking about orangutans, and my mind just, was it Matthew?
Manny. Oh fuck, Manny. I said his name wrong. Sorry, Manny.
Oh God. Well, a lot of Plastic Girl is kind of about is a YA story about. Sorry, I'm going to pitch all my stuff today. No,
do it. It's your moment. We're here to make you money.
So just about a young girl who basically it's in the climate apocalypse, and we've done everything wrong, and only a few surviving children are alive. And a young girl lives on a lake, and she's always looking for life, and she finds something out there that's alive that shouldn't be alive, and she starts interacting with it, and she's able to build other creatures with it, and they come to life, and she's kind of like not sure if she's losing her mind or if it's all actually happening. And she she eventually builds a sister, and they start rebuilding this island. And, it's kind of whether it's magic or science or what's happening, and it gets revealed. And it's a trilogy, and I'm finishing up the 3rd book right now. So yeah, so that
sounds fucking awesome.
But that one's fun. But that one I would like to do a comic of someday, but that's a long time from now. But anyways, back to Mary Shelley. Yeah. So I wanted to do something lighter. So then I thought this is where Mary Shelley, the concept for the Mary Shelley story came in.
And I'm assuming like if we back this, we can get like add-ons. If we want, like if we need all the Jessica stories, like we can get everything.
Yeah. I included, even though Pistol and Mary Shelley are very different, they're available in the add-ons. And so's the Plastic Girl book. You can get, I added some Cthulhu's in the add-ons, just some of my author copies, but and then there's a lot of, I don't know if there's like cool we got an enamel pin that I really like, and you've
been talking about the pin more than you have about the story.
Oh, that's not true. I do like the pin though. I'm not even a big pin person, but I do like this pin.
I'm trying to get there. Maybe. Here it is, right?
Well, no, that's like, that is the crest, but it's not the pin. The pin's a little bit further down, but that's the sticker. But
there it is. It's a nice pin. It's a good looking pin.
I don't know how much I've talked about this pin, but
I've seen you tweet pictures of it.
If you like about the pin, yes, I was excited about it. And then I kind of did the same thing where I set a goal that I thought I could hit the first week, and so it was a smaller goal because this is a smaller comic, and it's my first one. And then I've been having fun just with some of the like smaller stretch goals, and we've unlocked a lot of digital comics, and yeah, it's been. And I think we just hit a stretch goal where we, I can't remember what we unlocked last time, and I might not have updated it. We just unlocked physical stickers of the crest for all physical backers, and we unlocked these comics. You guys probably recognize some of them, but Boston Metaphysical, Ichabod Jones, Dark County, and the Joel Rodriguez, who does Dusk County Chronicles, is the letterer on the project.
That's your letterer, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the design and everything as well. We unlocked some digital mobile wallpaper and a print by Mark McTell, who works on Pistol.
This is really impressive that this is your first of all, like I thought you've been on Kickstarter several, because I guess because you've been in some anthology stuff is why I thought but like this is your first campaign and you're doing a lot of things right. These bonus digital goals, the way you're setting your stretch goals, like this is all like very like I've been around the block motherfucker vibe going on right now. So like it very much does not feel like this is your first technical rodeo, right? And so it's crazy. Like to me, that's crazy that it is, like, because I thought you've been doing this for a while, and I guess you've been publishing stuff, just maybe not on Kickstarter. So you get it.
I appreciate you saying that, because I was very nervous to run a Kickstarter, and I do give a lot of credit to the people I've learned from. You know, I learned a lot from Russell Nolte. I want to give him credit. From being in his campaigns for the anthologies. I learned a lot from Clay and David when I did their Nightmare Theater, and just like kind of watching other. I mean, honestly, there's a lot to learn from people. Just watch. Yeah. I'm a backer. I'm a super backer, so I back a lot of campaigns.
Same.
Yeah, right. Super backer.
I'm super bad with money. That's what that means.
I just became a super backer. I was like, ooh, I achieved something. I was like, felt really special when I got that email. But yeah, no. So I think it's just trying to absorb. I mean, I know I'm making mistakes too, but it's been kind of.
Obviously, you're on my fucking show.
That was my first. That was like my fifth mistake.
Yeah, that's it. You're already tumbling down the hill, so like, why not?
I did something wrong. I had to end the show. No.
What is this? What did you do at SDCC? Like, this is you're on a panel.
So I did a writers workshop panel with a group of writers from different mediums. Like, there's a screenwriter, a producer, a couple novelists, me, and we just kind of do a little intro, and then people ask questions, and we just talked writing with them, and it actually was pretty successful. So we're doing it. We just got notice that we're doing it again at LA Comic-Con on December 3rd,
Cool.
I think 12:30. So yeah, so that's kind of a more informal workshop thing that we did, but it was very cool. It was definitely a bucket list right there. That's why I put the picture.
Yeah, like I got invited. Like the week before SDCC, someone messaged me and they were like, dude, I can get you a press pass. Can you get down here? And I was like, no. I was I wish I could just like shit the money and fly. Like, but then I thought about it and I was like, okay, like maybe I could fly down there, but like, where do I sleep? What do I eat? What do I do? How do I get home? Right. And these were like the four big questions, but it was very, very cool. Very interesting to get invited to SDCC while Kansas City Planet Comic-Con wants like 10,000 fucking views a month. And I'm like, okay, Kansas City is not like the smallest city, but like, are you fucking kidding me? Like 10,000? Like, I don't know many of the podcasts and comic press that I look up to that like get that kind of traction on their stuff. Like that's fucking like that's like the Joe Rogan of comic book podcasts. Like, give me a fucking break. Anyways, but yeah, that's awesome. Like, that's super cool that you're a great storyteller, and I've talked to you before on my podcast, and I appreciate like what you do and how I like how you can manipulate your stories from audience to audience, and you can go darker and you can go a little lighter, and you can bring in this narrative history, and like I said, like I thought the same. So Victor Lavallee, like he's a great writer. He's written Sabretooth for Marvel. He has this great comic called Destroyer from Boom, and he wrote it as a sequel to Shelley's Frankenstein, and to like have the guts to do that is one thing, right? But then to like make it work and people want to read it, and people want to buy it, and people get excited about it, and we can look like, obviously, I'll just grab the deal and drag it up. That's fast. But so like, okay, you're almost 4 times your goal. Okay, like, yeah. I'm bad at math. You're 3.7.
We're getting close.
I don't know.
Yeah.
we just backed you as well. So.
Oh well, thank you. Yay! I appreciate it. We're about to unlock the next 2 digital comics, and then we are. God, I haven't even put up the 5. I got to put up the stretch goals for 5,000. I haven't even.
No, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get. You got 9 days.
Well, I didn't even imagine getting to 5,000, and so Anna did this really cool print, which I'm gonna put up tomorrow. She made a D&D/magic kind of variant of the gang from the whole gang, not just Frank and Shell and Necro, who showed up in Origins, and they're all playing D&D, and it's really cool actually. So I'm very excited about. Yeah, I'm just deciding how we're gonna do it exactly.
Yet again, Sarah's gonna be at LACC, so she'll try some. You should stop by and swap comics. Like bring Glitch. Give Jessica a copy of Glitch.
I've got Glitch. I've liked Glitch.
Oh,
now I'm all putting it together.
Glitch is fucking awesome. I was super surprised. Again, like, and that was so funny because she like, I can understand like maybe if your comic's not that great, which I guess like who's gonna that's a bad way to put it. Like let me like, I know my comic kind of sucks, but I'm gonna take it to Kickstarter. Like no one does that. You believe in your shit, but like
you don't think your comic sucks till a year later when you look at it. You don't think your comic sucks at the moment.
But like Glitch, they did the Stokes campaign for Glitch. Basically, they were like, if you don't like, we'll send you the digital copy. Like we believe in this book so much. We'll send you the digital copy. You can read it before you back it. And so many people backed it. Like they did a great first campaign. It was really solid. And Anthony did something very similar. And he's doing something with his new comic that isn't on a campaign yet, which I'm assuming will be hopefully one day. I mean, so you got to pay. Like I've listened to you talk, man. You got to pay for it somehow, right? So you got to put it on. You got to put it out there eventually. But he did the same thing. He was like, "Hey, everybody, read this. Tell me what you think about it." And like, that's so cool to me that you all can do that. That you're like, you can like put your stuff out there and then be like, you can have it for free, but you're gonna like it so much you're gonna pay for it. And then people fucking pay for it. Like that's so fucking punk rock. That's awesome.
That is great. And I do want to just give a little shout out to Anthony. And I went on Twitter right before I was gonna do the campaign, and I'm not on Twitter a ton. I like literally just say I backed this on Kickstarter. That's my Twitter existence. But, I jumped on, and one of those Twitter spaces was happening. Not to sound like an old person, but I was like, oh, what? They have Twitter? Because I thought that was a Clubhouse thing. I was like, what? There's Twitter space now? And I jumped into Charlie Stickney's and Pat's. They were talking about Kickstarting. You were in there, Anthony, and they were giving you all the credit from starting the whole thing too.
Yes, they should.
It's a legend, I think. And
see, I'm not the only one who gave you credit.
And that group, that made me feel, I don't know, something about that particular conversation just. I was like, okay, I can do it. It was like, it was just something, everyone was really cool in there and was giving good advice. And it was pretty solid. And so those communities do affect people randomly.
There you go, Anthony. You pissed off a handful of people, but you inspired other people. That's awesome.
I'm cool with Jessica. That's all that matters. No, let me pay your compliment back. That's an amazing campaign for a first campaign. It looks incredible.
The art's amazing. The art's so good.
Not just the art. That's not what I'm talking about, Blake. I'm talking about like the art's good too. Like, let me be clear. But
that's Anna, and I'm very impressed with her all the time. She's amazing. But yeah,
the composition of it and the way it's structured is textbook, and you can tell that. Yeah, like that you paid. I'm seeing shades of Pat. I'm seeing shades of Charlie as well, and then Matt and Steph, you guys' campaign was immaculately done as well. Like it's insanely well put together, and you can really tell who's paying attention to how the platform works, and you guys are it's bearing fruit.
The reason why people like Blake's Buzz is because I have talented people on my show. If I had dog shit fucking comics and creators on here, no one would watch me. No one would care if I was excited about their comic. Okay. I'm like a dog who smells a steak. Okay. And I smell that meat searing and I'm at the stove. I'm begging for it. All right. That's me for indie comics. And I got a good nose and I appreciate you all. You're all great creatives, and you're all not only great creatives, you're great voices in the indie community. Even again, going back to the Stokes drama of the week, but even when you occasionally rub people the wrong way, when you rub people the wrong way is when you're fucking doing it right and you're fucking popular and you're having more success than other people are having. People are gonna get mad at you. That's what sucks. That's what sucks about the internet.
One of the things here that's an interesting kind of case study is people are giving Stokes crap. I had no idea that Stokes had people giving him crap this week about different ways to go and promote. Jessica has got a great campaign up there. A lot of the people that are in your campaign, Fangs and Foul Play. We know about Fangs and Foul Play. We know about a lot of these other campaigns that are around. Okay, Steph just said she got kicked out. So, but she was gonna have to leave anyways. But she said she just got kicked out of the thing. So I'll take it from that. But I mean, she can come back if she wants to. I didn't kick her out. I didn't do that. So hold on, let's see here. Nope. I'll just let say nope. So what I was saying is, until we got on this show, I had no idea Jessica had a campaign going on, and I guarantee Jessica is not sitting there doing nothing. She's got all these people in here. She's on all kinds of shows and things like that. It just shows how messed up the algorithm is. Yeah. It just shows how much promotion gets suppressed. We have tried all different kinds of ways to be able to promote during this campaign, but inevitably, we know that come Friday or Saturday, somebody's going to be like, "Oh, you had a campaign running? I had no idea." I missed it. Oh, wow. I'll be like, dude, we can only post so many times. I mean, we get to we post, we send out emails, we send out backer kit launch, we send very strategic things to our old campaigns. We're on a lot of shows, and you're going to find people that have heard about you for the first time. So, for the few people that are going to get upset with you about, "Oh, you're doing it the wrong way." What is the right way? If there was a right way, we'd all be doing it.
Yeah, we'd all be funded. I mean, we're all funded. We're all funded because we know we're doing it. Hey, every project would be funded.
We'd be funded like Charlie Stickney is funded. Whenever Charlie runs a campaign, or Russell, or Pat. I'm like, man, you guys just like to print your own money. It's like they launch, and sometimes it pisses me off. It's like, here's our campaign. They launch. It's like, whoop, here we go. We're at $15,000 5 minutes in. You're like, come on, man.
Y'all ain't doing too bad now.
But you know what, though? That's great, though. I mean, those are the kind of guys we need to be listening to. If somebody's got a campaign out there that has only made $1,000 and they don't know what they're doing and they want to be telling people how to do it, why are we listening to that guy? Listen to the people like Charlie that have done it right. When Steph and I got into this business, as far as doing Kickstarters, Jessica, we were in the same spot as you. We were like, should we do a Kickstarter? Should we not? Should we do a Kickstarter? Should we not? We were driving home, and we even talked about it today. We were driving back to my house from a show, and we were like, if we keep doing things this way, for us to break even, we would have to sell 937 copies of this comic, taking into account travel and hotel rooms and table fees and printing fees. We're like, that sucks just to break even. We're not in the business to break even. Yeah. And so we finally said, hey, let's go in and run a Kickstarter. And we never looked back. But Charlie was our mentor at that point. We spent 6 months doing research, and we asked Charlie so many questions. And we would be like, Charlie, what about this? And just ask him a simple question. We get like a 9-paragraph response back, because he's like, yeah, you guys have asked me one question, but you really need to know these other things that you don't even know you need to be asking that question. Yeah. So we all need to be doing just like Blake is doing.
That's the beautiful part of this community is, and you guys will do that as well. If people reach out to you in the Kickstarter community, there are very few people that will be like, fuck you, don't talk to me. Because first of all, we'll find out you said that. It's a small tight family, right? If you're a fucking dick, it's going to get around. You can't, this isn't the big two, right? This isn't the direct market, right? We're all here to help each other. And if you throw a wrench in that gear and you're too busy and shit, like that will get around and people will hear about that. And that will hurt you in the future. The greatest part about Kickstarter is that we are a family, whether it's press or creatives. We're here to help each other. We're here to help everybody read cool comics. All right. And to help other people get funded, whether it's your first time, whether it's your 10th time, whether it's you got a day left and you need $1,200, $1,300, we're going to fucking share that. We're going to beg people to share it and help you like that. I've seen that magic happen. I've seen those $2,000 48-hour days, right? Like I've seen that happen. And that happens because we all care about fucking comic books and we care about this community. And that's the beautiful part about Kickstarter. And you can reach out for help. You can reach out with questions. And if someone doesn't want to give you the time of day, if someone acts like they're too busy for you, fuck them. Someone will help you. Like never get discouraged in the Kickstarter community. Like we will find someone to help you. If we don't have the answer, we'll find someone who does. We're here to help. We're here for comic books. We're fucking hungry. We're hungry and we're thirsty and we want good stories. Like
I can tell you one of the things that we do, and this is just a little tip that we have. It may not work for everybody. People are like, hey, I want to invest a certain amount of money into ads or into my promotion.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time we spent money on a Facebook ad or on a Twitter ad. I would say probably 100% of our advertising goes into backing other campaigns.
Yeah.
Because we're like, you know what? You guys are out there grinding just like we are. And even if it's, hey, we backed you for $10, you backed us for $10, and it's a wash there, what happens? Anybody that follows you is going to say, oh, such and such just backed this campaign. And so your followers might then decide they want to go and do it as well. And it also shows, like you said, that we all have skin in the game. You know, that like it's not just about take. Let's go get all these random people out there. Let's go feed Facebook all of our money. We'd much rather be giving it to somebody else that is going through the same grind and struggle that we are. Hey, I want to make sure Steph has a chance. I know, Steph, you said you got to get out of here. I know you got a sick pet at the house over there.
Yeah,
it's been a long day. I'm going to jump out, but thank you so much for having us on, and good luck to everybody in your campaigns. And I can't wait to see what happens in the future for everybody.
Where do we find you on the social stuff? Tell us where's a good place to keep track of you.
Matt is going to, because we have a shared, everything is under In Symmetry Creations. So at the end of the show, when everybody's plugging their stuff, go ahead and he'll plug that, because my brain has a hard time with all of our different social.
I'll go and type it into the chat right now. How's that?
Well, Steph,
right,
Steph, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, so I know I've almost kept you guys for 2 hours. Sarah, yes, like Charlie's a gem of a human being, and he keeps coming on. He keeps coming on he needs to have his own show. What he really does, and I know he probably doesn't have time for it. He's kind of doing that with the spaces, but like, yeah, he's been on my show a few times. I want to shout out something I'm doing tomorrow, because I'm kind of nervous because I've never really done it. I've done one spaces before, but tomorrow I'm doing a Noirvember Twitter Spaces discussion with my buddy Brian, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go into one of the most influential noir comic book teams right now, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. We're gonna talk about their early books, which is Gotham Noir and Scene of the Crime, and I'm really excited about it. I hope people tune in. It's gonna be like a chill talk. We're gonna talk about like what noir is, why it's important, why it's fun, why it's cool. Like I said, I haven't really done I've done one spaces before, and so this is like, but it seems to be the cool thing to do. And if it's not, I'm going to blame Anthony. But anyways, like tomorrow night. But tonight we're going to do that. But so anyways, like I said, I've kept you guys for 2 hours. I'm so excited for all your campaigns. I'm so excited for like everything you guys are doing. Jessica, I'm still shocked that this is like your first like Kickstarter campaign that's like your own, because you're doing everything so goddamn great. Like, Like kudos to you for just killing it. I'm
Thanks, yeah.
gonna go around the block. I want to make sure everybody knows where to keep track of you on the socials, where to find out new endeavors and things where we can whether it's Patreons, whatever, anything you guys want to shout out. This is your moment to remind us how to give us how we can give you money and support you. Jessica, lay it down. Where do we find you at?
You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. Just look for Wicked Tree Press. And then I have a website, wickedtreepress.com. I am on Twitter. I believe I'm Jessie Star Judd on Twitter. That's sad but true. And yeah, but mostly I'm usually more active on Facebook or Instagram. And yeah, I can post the link to the Kickstarter. I don't know if we're doing that or how we're doing that.
Actually, I did something different this time. Anybody who is watching this on Facebook or if you on YouTube, like in the description has everybody's links. So like anybody who's watching this, like you just, if you click that more info button right at the bottom, everybody's links are there ready for you to go, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. And you can actually click them, like instead of like me, because if I post them on the screen, then you got to be like, you gotta like look and be like www.
Yeah, I definitely need to get that link to the orangutan thing for sure, man.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna be talking about that more this week and next. And so yeah, Jessica, this was awesome and so glad to have you back on the show. I'm so excited for this Shelley comic. I'm very excited for the graphic novel as well. I think it's really cool. And when that graphic novel drops, you got a home here if you want to put up with my bullshit again to hype the show. I'd love to have you back on.
And I'm really excited about everybody's campaigns. They sound really awesome, and I know where I'll be right after the show. I have to go right to the Kickstarter and spend more money.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's my fucking life.
Yep.
Like what do I do? I stayed up all night and now I got to spend more money, and that's cool. Someone told me we can write all this off on our taxes. Like you can
really,
as
research
to your project. Yeah, you got to do an LLC, and then you can write it off as research.
100% you can write it off because it's LLC. Absolutely.
Somebody who's smarter than me needs to walk me through that because I have no idea what that means. Next up. Well, I know what an LLC means. I don't know how to make one. I don't know how to like make it and then claim or like register
it.
Yeah.
It's like, what's a business?
Let's get into marketing real quick. Next up, Anthony.
No, absolutely not.
Anthony, Decay's going on right now. You're also funded, ready to go, but we would love new backers. You got new stories coming up. Real quick, before you tell us where to find you, I forgot to ask you this earlier. Both of us are little weeble weirdos, and we love the anime and we love the manga. And you're about to make one. You're about to make a manga, right? Like,
yeah.
How long I gotta wait for that shit, dude? Like, cause I'm ready.
Did you check your Twitter? I sent you some images.
Oh no,
the consummate professional. Look at this guy.
Hold on, all right.
That sounded ironic.
I was paying attention.
No. This is my problem. I sounded ironic, but no, truthfully, I meant that as a genuine compliment. Like you were not on Twitter
because I'm not playing on my phone while I'm talking.
No, I meant it genuinely. I wasn't being.
Oh shit! Oh, is it gonna be full color?
No. It's like the prologue.
This is the pro. Oh, so you're doing like real deal shit. That's so stuff. Do you want me to like put this up and share it?
It's not. Why not? It's not right to left because I didn't want to put too much stress on my artist to try to make it too. Also, didn't know if printers would do right to left or if that's even a different thing. I'm not sure. I didn't want to.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know.
You'd be going crazy. You'd be like, hey, here's page 74. That's actually page 1, and you'd be like,
yeah.
No, yeah.
Ooh, so, this is pretty though. This is really pretty.
That's a repost, but yeah, no, I do love manga, and it's gonna be so cool to do something. It's like I'm not gonna say a passion. I have a love for the medium. So I grew up I didn't grow up on American comics. I read like Watchmen. I read like the big stuff, but generally speaking, I was reading manga. So it's like a love letter to the manga that I grew up reading because that really piqued my creative interest. I feel like.
Dude, this art's gorgeous.
And then also, it's going to be nice to have something else on the table besides like these really like dark horror, like dark horror stuff.
Yeah, like something a little lighter, something a little different. We don't want to get pushed into a corner, right? You want to like, you're like, be versatile, like be ready to play the game. No,
yeah,
dude,
I thought about marketing while making my comic book.
beautiful.
That's crazy idea.
Well, this is awesome. I'm excited. Pat Shan told me I should ask you to do Unbelievable with me, and I was like,
What's
"He's
that?
too busy."
Oh,
I want to
hell
do a
yeah.
manga podcast called Unbelievable, and no one will co-host with me.
Hell yeah,
Everybody's like,
fellas.
"I'm too busy. I have fucking kids. I gotta take my kid to school in the morning. Can't talk to you about Chainsaw Man at 10 o'clock at night." That's the shit I keep hearing.
Hey Blake, I'm down. I mean, I think you're a time zone over. So
Well,
if we're running,
we may need to talk about it. I want to do. I would like to do twice. This is totally different. I'd like to do twice a month, not once a week. I figure like start casual, see what happens. But I just fucking love this shit, man. I don't ever have any. Let's not show all my Twitter shit.
I'm about to say I didn't want to say anything because you were giving some good like press right there. But yeah, everybody saw your whole.
You
shit.
didn't see the one with a couple weeks ago when I got the bright idea I was gonna like back someone's campaign live, and it like showed my like credit card info and stuff, and I was like, oh fuck no, don't do that.
So you tried
So,
to do
yeah,
it.
I doxed myself. But anyways, that's we'll talk about that
We'll
later.
talk about
But
that.
I'm excited for your future endeavor. Like Decay is awesome, but like Intrusive Thoughts, this new manga project, your fucking mac and cheese recipe, all these new things you have going.
One of these is more impressive than the other.
I mean, all of them are pretty impressive. That was a beautiful picture of mac and cheese you posted. I'm sorry, I'm a fat boy.
I had to put some positivity on the timeline.
When you put that positive in, because pasta. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, but no, man, I like your style. I like, like it's fine. Like, you should be cocky because you're doing it.
I think
you really are.
It's good to have balance, right?
Yeah.
Like it's if everybody on Twitter was like just kind of an asshole, then I would be like the nice, pleasant guy. But we
switch it up. Yeah,
we just need a balance. Like I'm hey, a cosign from Blake. Genuinely, it meant you defended me in my notifications, and I want to thank you so much because it was getting ugly. So thank you so much, man.
No, that's it aggravates me, man. When people like legit try and help the community and people want to come at you for it, fuck that. Like, anyways, Anthony, like where do you have a Patreon or anything going, or is it just follow you and back your campaign? Like, where's the best place to keep track of you?
I mean, Twitter. I lost every other platform, so I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter exclusively at this point. Somebody told me I live on Twitter, so that's at Stokes the Writer, and then Decay issue 1 to 3. I'm also a super backer as well. Just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, Kickstarter and Twitter. That's all I can do right now.
Hey, we joke about that, but that's a red flag for me sometimes when like I go to look at a campaign and it's like I have like 5 campaigns and I've backed one. Like I like to know that people support the community. Like I think that marketing, I think that's a good sign as well. Like when you can click on your deal and it says Anthony Stokes backed 200, 300 campaigns. It looks good. You're here to help.
Real quick, Blake, and I know we're wrapping up, but also like this kind of thing where I tweeted out, I was like, do y'all take into consideration how many people are backing, how many projects the person is back?
I totally
you take an account, I take an account. And this might be the kind of thing where you don't state it publicly, but you do. And you're saying it's like a community thing. And I also agree. But also what we are seeing is that Jessica has backed X amount of campaigns and her campaign looks amazing. Matt has backed X amount of campaigns, triple digit, I believe, and their campaign looks amazing. So you're understanding how to do updates. You're understanding how it's supposed to be. You understand like how it's run essentially. So it's not even just the altruistic nature, which is a big part of it, but it's also just literally how do I know that you can run a campaign if you haven't backed any, so
that's true.
I didn't even think about that. I just thought it was like I was just thinking like you're just a prick. you're like, yeah, I want my comic to be made. I don't give a fuck about your comic.
Like this is all I think about. It's so sad. I have a really sad existence, but I did okay on Kickstarter. But
Hey, man, like this is all I do is like all comics are my life, dude. That's comics and my idiot fucking puppy and making food and Chiefs football. That's about all I got. So anyways, regardless of mine and Anthony's sad existence, next up, Matt, you got to follow that.
It's all good, man. You guys have just set the bar super low so I can just jump in here and be like,
raise it up.
No big
Raise
deal.
it up.
I've got this.
On eagle's wings. Let's go, baby. Where we find you,
Jessica, are you a fan of football at all?
I like football. I don't want to say I'm a fan of football, but I am a University of Michigan grad, so I have to at least say that.
I was just going to say because
my team just got beat up the other day.
It's like Hollywood Squares because we already know Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, Miami Dolphins. So I wanted to make sure you had a chance to get in here.
Wolverine.
You talked about it earlier at the beginning before we got on. You talked about you were watching the Eagles game on your phone.
Oh, okay. Hey, this is a real observant moment.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, listen, let me tell you, I actually am a co-host of a college fantasy football podcast. So I literally have to pay attention to 130 college football teams to see who's got the best fantasy perspective. So I do know about Blake Corum, running back for Michigan. See, I'm Sam. I know about your team. Patrick Mahomes for life. I love me some Patrick Mahomes. Back to Texas Tech days. You know, Devontae Smith back to Texas Tech, back to Alabama days. I know about all this stuff, man.
Okay.
Undefeated Devontae Smith.
I love me some Devontae, man. I was a little miffed when the Dolphins drafted Waddle, but you know what? Waddle is the man. I love me some Waddle. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. But
we were talking about concussions. Let us.
I've had quite a few.
Too soon. Sorry.
Quite a few. I've had quite a few. But no, like I said, the best place for you guys to go right now is go to tinyurl.com/HEIRS TPP2 for the next 20 hours. That is HEIRS TPP2 on a tiny URL. A couple things we did not talk about in our campaign. We want to make sure, especially you know about this, Blake. Not only do you have a chance to get drawn into our book, but when we talk about drawing you into a book, we make sure you actually get a couple of panels, and we make sure you get some dialogue, and you're a named character. We make sure you have something that actually is like, you can say, we make it like, and guest starring Blake as such and such. Also, in the add-ons, you can get drawn into a secret project. We have not named the project yet. We are working on it with our art team, and we just can't tell you what it is right now. But we've actually had half of those tiers taken, half of those add-ons taken, because people are like, I have no idea what the IP is. I have no idea what the kind of character is. I know the kind of stories, but I know you guys are probably going to do something cool. So draw me into that thing. So you can do that. You can add on pretty much anything that we've ever done is going to be in the add-on sections. Our add-on sections is like a medieval scroll length long. But yeah, so like I said, that's the thing. We are super excited about this book. We're super excited about Heirs of Isildur. I love the fact that you love Keto. Keto is going to play some roles just like a lot of the characters are. Not going to say he's going to be like the biggest character in this issue coming up, but just trust us and have some fun with some Keto action. If you want to see us on any other kind of social media, Facebook is /INSYM, INSYM. You can go to INSYM Creations on Twitter, INSYMAGE Creations on Instagram, or our website. You can also see us if you go to Scout Comics Instagram or their TikTok. We do some promotional stuff because we have a all ages title, Misfits Clubhouse, on Scout Comics. So we do some of the promotional stuff for them for some of their titles. So you might be able to see our bright shining faces there as well.
Nice. Very cool. I'm a big fan of Scout here. If you go through the Blake's Buzz podcast, I've talked to so many fucking Scout people. It's ridiculous. They should hire me, but that's beyond the point. We won't get into that. No, it's fine. But I love Scout. Guys, this was awesome. All of you have great campaigns. All of you are great for indie comics, no matter what anybody says to you on Twitter. That's what I believe. And this is my show. And so what I say matters. And that's about what I think. If no one else has anything to say, I'm gonna play the music and we can all go about our days or our nights or whatever time it is. I haven't slept in a while, so it's fine. But anybody else have anything else you want to shout out or anything?
You know what I want to shout out? I want to say, Blake, I appreciate what you do, man. And when you get into those depressed modes, I want you to think about this show right here and think about how much fun we had. Know that you're making a difference. Don't be worried about when you have those down times. There's always going to be times they're going to suck, but you are doing something good, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It gets weird and hard to remember sometimes. Anyways, everybody check out these campaigns. You can go to Facebook, you can go to YouTube, however you're watching this. Everybody's links are right there, ready to click, ready to back, ready to get some awesome fucking comics. All right, I promise you. Like I put my money where my mouth is. I got a big mouth that runs all the time. I promise you, like, these are great comics to back and read, and these are great people to follow and learn about the indie community. This was so fun. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you for reminding me that even when I fucking get whiny and cranky, I still have so much fun when I come on the show, and I love talking comic books. And you know what? Love more, hate less, read comics, love each other, be nice to each other. Don't be a fucking creep online. Boom, boom, bang, bang, back some comics, baby.
It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Hopefully it's ending.